I'm Kelly, Vice President for Operations at Safety Center. Over the next few weeks, I'll be talking with small business owners about how they've navigated their businesses through the pandemic, what they've done to ensure their employees' and customers' safety, and what they're looking forward to as we transition out of the pandemic. We'll start off this week with Rachel Zillner, owner of Beat the Room, an escape room business with locations in Rockland and Vacaville.
Rachel, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure. Hi, I'm Rachel Zillner. I'm one of the owners of Beat the Room. We are an escape room with locations in Rockland and Vacaville. We have about 26 employees, and we've been in business for just over 4 years.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about where your business was going before COVID.
Ooh, good question. It's almost hard to remember at this point. But actually, 2020 was financially from a everything is running really well, our games are smooth operationally, everything is on point. We had spent the past 4 years building into this space of now it's made. Like any new business, you keep reinvesting in your business and reinvesting in your business, and that's what we had done. And 2020, through our financial planning, was going to be the year that we actually got to take some income out of our business. We had done our final expansions and looking up.
Wow. So I imagine they have changed things a little bit. Share with us a little bit about that journey. What did that look like? How did you change or pivot?
Yeah, so that, I think, when COVID-19 hit, I think at first we all felt like, oh, it's fine, right? Because it's on the other side of the globe. So no one here, at least from our perspective, it just felt like maybe this is going to be SARS or, the pig flu or whatever they called it, swine flu. But instead, as it got closer, I distinctly remember March 17th, because March 17th is the day that my business partner and I were like, this isn't going to be okay. What are we going to do? And that's the day we made the decision that we needed to close our business. Back then, I really feel like we thought this was like the apocalypse coming, right? And without any additional information and being very fear-driven, we actually chose to close our business. And the very next day, the state told us we had to close our business. So we were like, hey, I guess we made the right decision because we were going to be told to be closed anyhow. That was extremely difficult. We had a really long conversation that we videotaped and shared with our staff that we were all afraid. We didn't know what was going to happen. We got some local supplies of dry goods and to our staff. A lot of our employees, our frontline employees, were just barely over minimum wage workers, and we never know what everyone's at-home financial situation looks like. So we were trying to do our part to prepare there. We had to make important business decisions like, if we're closed, how will we continue with some of our other benefits, such as healthcare? And how could you cancel someone's healthcare in a pandemic, right? Like, how could we make that choice for someone? So we had to choose what things we would give up in order to make sure we could still do that. There were a lot of uncertainties and unknowns about how long it would take for our employees to be able to get unemployment. We left the door open for people to come and talk to us when they could, and just batten down with our landlords of, we're all in this together, can you help us? And at that point in time, our landlords were like, all of us thought we're going to be closed for 3 weeks. Don't worry, everything will be okay. And of course, we all know that the whole thing unfolded differently.
Sure. So have you reopened?
We've attempted a couple of restarts, right? So we closed in middle of March, and I don't have it memorized, but I would say we opened back up sometime in late June. We were open for a few weeks then, possibly about 5 weeks or so, and then we were down again. And we tried another little start and got through, I want to say, October, end of October. And we thought, oh my gosh, we might actually, honey, mommy's doing something. It's COVID, this is what we do. So we actually thought, hey, it looks like it might be okay. And we reopened again. And this of course is after we put all of our safety protocols in place and our plans and all the contingencies, et cetera. And we reopened. Every business is different, but ours has a significant uptick in sales in the fourth quarter of the year that kind of trickles into first quarter. So this was going to be the most important time for us to be able to be open to serve our customers so that we could possibly get some sort of revenue that would help us pay the back owed rent, among other things. And unfortunately, we didn't get there before Christmas time. Before that would have been our really big uptick. Plus, it didn't feel right for a lot of people to come out. We closed down our Vacaville location and then our Rockland location just based on what things look like, and held tight once again to weather the storm.
So tell me about some of those extra safety precautions that you did have in place when you were planning to reopen.
Sure. Yeah, well, I think we can all remember that hand sanitizer became like the hottest commodity ever. So we found a distillery in El Dorado Hills that had started producing hand sanitizer. Didn't smell good, but it certainly did what we needed it to. And we bought, I mean, probably 12 of the big like 4 or 5 gallon things because we would need them, right? Every participant that comes through would need to do something with their hands. And in an escape room, we're a high touch environment. And what I mean by that is folks come into this immersive environment, right? It might be like a pirate ship or a Chinese restaurant or a spaceship, whatever that environment is that we've created. And they're engaging with the room to solve puzzles. So people are touching things. So not only did we need to make sure everyone had washed their hands and sanitized, but we also had to buy some different products that I didn't even know existed on the market, where we could literally spray down and disinfect everything in our rooms to make them safe. We bought face shields and masks for everyone in the company. I spent thousands of dollars on gloves so that our employees could switch out their gloves each and every time they engaged with a different room or had to open a door. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff too. Thermometers. We bought those infrared thermometers, and at one point we were told we were going to have to use them. At some point, it doesn't seem like that's enforced. We're still using them to check every customer. And the other big safety thing that we did, I would say this was the most expensive safety thing that we had to implement, is that in an escape room, normally in California, you have 2 choices. You can buy a couple tickets and go with strangers and play a game with people you don't know, possibly, or you can rent a full room and you can have that to yourself and just to your party. Well, in order to make that work for us, we had to, honey, mommy, I'm so sorry, it's COVID. This is already open. Okay. In order to make that work for us, we had to change our booking system. So we made them private rooms only. So you were only playing with the people you came with. Well, normally that private room income for us was something like $230-ish per experience. Well, now that we went private room only, we were looking at only $70 minimum per room. It's a significant change to our business. So we had to do a little bit of a change to our pricing. It's still nowhere near what we used to be able to make. But that had to be done for safety. And in addition to that, we put tremendous spacing between our games to allow our employees enough time to get in and do a thorough cleaning, and to make sure that we never had more than 1 group in the lobby at any given time to ensure we could space them out more than 6 feet in our lobbies. Actually, we even had to break down a wall and build in a couple more monitoring rooms, because our employees were normally like lined up in a desk, but they were only about 3 feet apart. When you get to 6 and you can't exactly expand your square footage, you start giving up other space in your building to make it work. And we had to do that as well.
Of all of those things we had put in place or planned out, what do you foresee keeping in the future, even when we come out of the pandemic?
You know, the hand sanitizing thing is awesome. I do think it's awesome to have people go wash their hands. I mean, here's what I can tell you. I feel safer going to Beat the Room escape room than I do going to the grocery store. And that's not because our grocery stores are doing anything wrong, or Target or Home Depot or whoever you want to call out there. It's because we've created like a little individual space that you're in your bubble the whole time you're there. We've had not one single employee get COVID-19. Thank goodness, knock on wood. And we've had one customer who called and said, today I'm sick. I was in your experience yesterday. And they were the last room of that night. And we just felt so grateful. And because of that, I'm like, hey, not only have we not had employees or patrons get COVID-19, but my employees haven't gotten the flu this year. They haven't gotten really any colds this year. So this has been an extreme test on how to make sure that you can keep attendance up.
Absolutely. I feel like we'll never go back to the way we were before. So as we are transitioning out of this pandemic phase eventually, what are you looking forward to with your business?
I'm so many things. Being open, for starters, being open. There's this cool thing in the escape room business. It's like the reason that it keeps us going and wants us to like keep engaging with building more and doing more. And that's the aha moments, right? Normally in a regular season or a busy season, about every 15 minutes, you can hear someone from through a wall go, oh my gosh, or whoa. And oh, I miss that. I miss going in on a Saturday and hearing, oh, cool, like every 15 minutes. I mean, if you want a little shot in the arm of energy, it's those like super cool experiences that people are having. I miss that for mental health. I miss that joy that it brought to our staff. I miss people leaving with big smiles of, oh my gosh, that was so neat. We figured it out and we had seconds left, right? It's that engagement and communication with other human beings that keeps us all going as a society that is missing right now, that the entertainment business helps bring. And I'm looking forward to having that back.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Your optimism is so refreshing. We need more of that in these times. Is there anything you would like to say to your customers, your employees, the public, as we, anyone who might be watching this?
Yeah. I mean, to my employees, they've been incredible. I mean, you talk about resilience and a test on resilience in this time. They've been so awesome. We've had such great retention. We made a lot of accommodations. We had some folks who didn't, feel safe coming back, and we said, hey, just stay home. And when things are over, we hope to bring you back. But to our customers, I want to say thank you for trying to engage with us when we could be open. We appreciate that. We can't wait to welcome you back. We can't wait to have you back in our space. Our Rockland location is open right now. Vacaville, hopefully Solano County comes to a safer space sometime in the near future. But to the world, to whomever, I think, mental health is the big issue that a lot of folks are struggling with right now. Is we aren't meant to be isolated individuals. And of course, the way we had to survive is to get through that space. And so finding joy again, finding that space where we can be together and leave, just get that kind of energy, right? We've been watching great shows, but there's nothing like getting out of your house and doing or engaging with something as a learner or a first time experience. And we're here for you for that. We would love to see you. We've got lots of great surprises. When you feel safe, bring a friend, bring your family, and let's get back to what the new normal looks like and spending some quality time making memories together.
That is awesome, Rachel. Thank you so much. We will put a link to your business in the notes. And again, so much for your time. I appreciate it. I can't wait to come have an adventure at one of your rooms. I can get outside. Thank you again.
Of course. You have a great day.